All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. Let me talk to you for a second on the subject of your attention. Now, that may not be the best title of this particular video, but yet and still, remember, I'm here to present information, to stimulate thought, to try my best to put a defibrillator on your mind to get you to wake up out of a deep sleep or a state of death. Okay? All right? Now, this is the reason why. Be it, I don't care where you are learning anything from in this world. Because the truth is this. The only way that you are ever going to learn anything in this life is if, number one, you discover it, and number two, someone tells you about it. From that point, you have two options sitting in front of you. You can hear the information, rationally discard it, and act like nothing has ever happened before in your life and go back to your condition. Or number two, you can begin to research, verify, study, see if the information that is presented before you is true or not. Then from that point, you can choose to pursue the depths of knowledge, which, if you do, the world, your family, and everybody else around you is going to hate you. You're going to go down a very lonely road, which only a few people are willing to travel. Most people know before they step through that threshold of that door that it's going to be lonely. And you're only going to find a few people on the other side of that threshold. And that's the truth. Because the whole world is built on a cattle mentality, a chattel mentality. Everybody is comfortable doing what everybody else is doing. But to gain independence, to gain real true freedom, while yet still being in the matrix, you have to exercise self-autonomy. You must think, and let me use the terms easily understand, easily understood. You must exercise independent thinking. This is the irony of it all. I mean, completely, the complete irony of it all. I can come on here and let's say that I'm speaking to you in German. All right? Wiedersehen, tschüss. Jägerschnitzel und Pommes frites. Okay? I'm a barbarian to everybody out there who is unfamiliar with what I just got finished saying. Or I can ask, I can speak to you in Spanish and say, ¿Cómo se dice en español? If you're not familiar with either one of these languages, and I am by no means a linguist of these languages, okay? But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you something, Ein, zwei, drei, vier, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now listen to me. Listen to me very closely, okay? All right. If I come to you speaking English, and I say a Wiedersehen or Tschüss, Jägerschnitzel und Pommes frites, I can scream, I can holler, I can use passion behind it. Yeah. Nein! I can tell you all about the fear. I can tell, but you know what? It doesn't make any sense. And you will get frustrated and just simply walk away. I can come to you and say, ¿Cómo se dice en español? Or, if I'm very fond of you, Te amo, mi amor. I could go on and on, okay? But no matter the inflection of my voice, and no matter what way that I am speaking to you, okay? And I can be passionate in presenting the information in either one of those dialects. Yet if you do not comprehend what I'm saying, it means nothing to you. That's the same thing that is happening to us today while we all yet claiming to speak English, because the Bible is a code. Language is a code. You can speak a language and you can clearly not understand the code of that language and be totally oblivious to what's really truly being said, because everybody, depending on the power of the entity, has different definitions for the word. For instance, you and I, we have a definition of freedom, but the United States District of Columbia, they have another alternative definition of freedom. You and I, we have our particular definition of law. They have an alternative definition of law. And so, you know, a lot of things that they have done to us, they have hidden information, signs and symbols right in front of us in plain sight, simply because we cannot interpret what they're saying. This is what religion has done too. Religion has hidden things right in front of you simply because you can't interpret. So that's why you often hear me say it before. If you follow me and listen to me in ministry, I've said it once, I said it 1,000 times. And the things that I've said is this. I say it's amazing in this country, because there used to be a time throughout the annals of time that people were literally illiterate. The only people that had the right, while we are functioning under privileges in this land. I know you hate to hear this. And most of you are going to, write me off as a crackpot like you normally do. Because remember, I've been where you are. It's up to you to either try to understand or comprehend what I'm saying and come to this way, or just to reject it and stay comfortable in your ignorance. But, there used to be a time that the only people that was considered literate were the rich, the elite, and those who controlled religion. Well, now we have everybody so-called can read and write and so-called comprehend, but yet and still, when you deal with their system called government, the United States, that's totally different than the United States of America. And I'm not going to get into all this. That's why I keep trying to tell all you people, you can sit up here all day long and try to get so-called free from a system that is totally corrupt, that is not going to, that has no similitude of righteousness whatsoever at all. That literally has no consciousness. And you're wasting your time. You're beating your head against a tree, a red oak tree. Real true freedom is in the Creator and the one who made you. And you need to learn how to navigate in Satan's world. And so that's why when I speak to people, those who have the ears to hear, they will hear this man. They go, whoa, wait a minute. Did you hear that? And you can present this video to 10 or 15 other people, and they'll be like, what is he talking about? And you're going, man, can't you understand what this man is saying? This man has the spirit of truth in him. And everybody else is going, that man's crazy, because I'm speaking in a way that they can't not comprehend. And neither do they want to comprehend. Because I'm going to tell you right now that this way is truly straight and narrow. It's lonely. And most people just simply do not have the stomach nor the intestinal fortitude to be able to hang in there until the day of deliverance. You see, right now, this is temporary. But once this breath go out of this body, we enter into life. And I know most people don't understand that. That's why you should pay more attention to how you are dealing with people now. You should have the law of kindness in you. You really, truly should. because this is such a temporary state. And when his breath go out, it's eternal. You should be very careful how you cultivate relationships and how you do with people. And make sure that you're not undermining and deceitful, because after all, the intent is what's going to be judged more than anything. And many of you have become professionals at trying to hide your intent under the cloak of maliciousness. But I said all that to say this. Unless I get on here as a preacher and a teacher, and I speak to you in such a way that you can understand, you're just going to write me off as a crackpot and a kook. That's the reason why people say cult. That's why they call me cult leader, because they do not realize that they are in the biggest cult that this world has ever experienced. And you have to understand, when you have the mentality that everybody else, the majority of the whole is right and these few is wrong, you're going to be against those who have set themselves apart and sought out the secrets and the knowledge of truth. And that's why I would look like, in your eyes, a cult leader. But remember this. I have been where you are. So it's my job, and I do have a job of actually speaking, and I try my best. But I do know I'm not going to, with my words, wake up everybody, because that's none of my business. I'm presenting information. It's up to the Spirit, which is holy, to actually speak to you and wake you up. I have no control over that. But once you are awake and you begin to comprehend what I'm saying, that's when you start the journey. But these ignorant folks today, or illiterate folks, remember, everybody can so-called read and write right now, and we just as dumb, dormant, docile, demoralized, and demonized today than what the people who have never even, you could write a simple word on a piece of paper, and most people would never even recognize that word at all. They would look at that, but if you put a sign in front of them, and you tell them what this sign, if you teach them just by signs and symbols what this signs mean, all right, you tell them that, you know what they would do? They will automatically be able to comprehend what that means. And being able to comprehend what that means, you'll be able to speak to them in such a manner, and you have been able to speak to them in such a way that hey, even the people, if they cannot read, they can be able to understand. So, hey, you may not see the words on this, but if you ever drive a vehicle and you see this without anything being said, without you even comprehending what this word means, you know this. That's why people have chose to advertise to you. I had people ask me, why use PowerPoint? I said, because I understand where the minds are at today. I understand what we're up against. I understand what people are trying to do and trying to learn. And I am using wisdom as I gain more and more in order to try to do my best to unplug people from the lie to the truth. Hope I said something to encourage you. Y'all have a wonderful day.